The 80s was a special time in history. The music, the cars, but let's not forget to mention the movies. The slasher genre ran in the 80s, thus that brought us many movies like today's subject, The Burning. I did one of my favorite pastime activities this week, scrolling through movie suggestions, and came across The Burning. I felt in the mood to dive back into the camp slasher type horror movies, so here we are. Directed by Tony Malam, this movie focuses on the urban legend of the Cropsey Maniac, something I just had learned about while scripting out this video. Cropsey was a popular urban legend in New York around the 80s. He was believed to be a mental patient that had escaped, and he lurks around the woods and abandoned places, and he likes to kidnap children.
Fun.
The Burning, originally like most slashers, was criticized back in the day, but in recent years has developed a cult-like following with the benefit of hindsight. Before we get into today's episode, of course be sure to hit the join button down below to become a member of the channel. Some people on iOS won't be able to see the join button. I don't know why, but that's just what it is. But if you are on computer, there should be no issue. Thank you for watching and all of the recent support on the uploads, and without further ado, let's get into You know it's a good movie when you watch it on Tubi. Camp Blackfoot. Okay. The Burning is fairly similar to the typical format of slasher films in the early 80s. Not much has changed. We start off with a group of kids pranking a camp counselor, a janitor, an uncle, somebody by creeping him out in his sleep, hoping to spook him in the middle of the night and pray that he doesn't pull out a gun. Good news, he doesn't pull out a gun.
Run around the back. Let's get him. Do it.
Did they rehearse that? All right, boys, when we get in front of the cabin and I announce what we're gonna do, let's all say, do it. No, dude, it won't be gay, all right? It'll be sick. So I have a feeling this is probably gonna go south. They're gonna try to light like a firework. It's gonna burn him. And then he's gonna seek revenge on every summer camp attendee. Oh my God, sleeping right next to gasoline. God, we shouldn't have lit a fire in there. We know that Cropsey loves to use his pillow as gasoline. He used to use gasoline as his pillow. Fuck.
Come on, Spag. Come on.
1 week later.
Hey, listen, after 2 months of working here, you're gonna feel like an old man. After you see this guy, you'll never want to come back in here again.
I would think that someone wanting to work in a hospital, I would think that they would want to keep him as long as possible rather than trying to scare him away.
Come on, take a look.
Listen, I gotta go.
You want to be a doctor, right? This is what you gotta see.
Also, if you were a doctor, a burn victim wouldn't be the worst thing to see.
As long as you live, you're never gonna see a freak like.
Oh God, he's gone. Oh God. Not trying to run away or anything. He's just oh. I mean, so he probably didn't do anything. He just literally just grabbed him. Miramax? Miramax, what? Is that a laxative? Or what? Oh, Miralax, that's what I'm thinking of. I was like, oh shit. They make laxatives and movies. Goated. Just when you thought we couldn't make you shit your pants even harder, we decided to make some horror movies. Oh, his track is kinda... Ugh. Such an 80s thing to just have the longest fucking title credits with just nothing. Black screen.
It's time for you to leave.
Considering how badly you were burned, you're lucky to be alive.
He was in there for 5 years?
I know you still resent those kids, but try not to blame anyone for what happened.
The expedition. The writers in the studio are like, yeah, we got word that apparently his motives weren't really clear enough, so we gotta just write something in and make it a little bit more clear. We'll just have the doctor tell him everything. Okay, so check this out. You're burned. You're really burned. You're gonna hate kids. Every kid you come across, you're gonna wanna kill them. Here's your knife. Go back to the camp. Just covered in bandages. Sir, I don't know. I don't even know what day it is. Go back to the camp.
Well, this is home, honey.
Oh, God. My type of woman.
I know you're standing out there.
Oh, no, it's him. I feel like that light is a hazard.
Are you coming up? Because I'm going in.
Oh my God. So back whenever I used to DoorDash, I remember I had an order to go into this apartment building, and I went in and the door was open, which was weird. It was like midnight. The doors were wide open. I was like, huh. All the lights were on, like in this apartment complex. I went inside and dude, when I say it was covered in bugs, moths, like covered, I mean, it was disgusting. And I understand, you know, some people aren't as fortunate as me. Get it, 100%. It was cleaner to live on the street than that apartment, bro. I mean, there was stains on the walls. It was, I mean, there were, when I said the bugs, I was walking into these bugs. I was, you ever been to a baseball game and you look at like those big ass stadium lights and you're like, God, there's so many bugs up there. That was this apartment. Okay, I won't be able to show this, of course. This, I'm sorry, but this is the lamest kill I think I've ever seen in a horror movie. The girl just got stabbed, and it was like, Camp Stonewater, new place. I have a feeling soon we're gonna be like, well, they believed it was a curse. That's why they changed the name from Blackfoot. Anyways, and then she fell out the window, and like you could tell the glass was obviously fake. It damn near looked like plastic. She literally goes like this, ah, ah, ah. And then you see blood squirt on the window. We could do better than that. Come on, man, come on. So yes, we get our unrelated first kill out of the way, but you know how it goes. We don't really count this as a first kill yet. This is a common trope in early slasher films to kind of show us that the killer is out and about and active. And wow, was it rough on the eyes, and on the good way. It was very slow. I don't know, usually the kills are very fast with a lot of cuts in the tape to kind of simulate the feeling of things are just happening. Kind of like when you get injured and everything feels super hyperactive and quick. But this was just in 0.25 speed and might I add, very funny. After this, we don't see the killer, but we jump to the current day.
You're not doing anything tonight, right? I want you at the rec room at 8:30.
Daddy!
Just be there.
That was definitely just that girl, but it's the 80s, man. We see some of the kids playing baseball, and these are our main characters that we will be going through the story with. I mean, it's the typical 80s fashion, you know, day outside. You got kids playing baseball and barely any clothing. You got the guys creeping on the girls. I mean, it's the 80s. A girl hits a ball into the woods, and one of the outfielders runs into the woods to go get the ball. And we see that the killer is in there, but we don't see his face or anything. We just kind of see his weapon, which happens to be gardening shears, which I actually think is pretty cool. I mean, I kind of like, you know, Jason had like the machete. That's like his main thing, the machete. You got Texas Chainsaw Massacre with the chainsaw. I kind of like whenever slashers have odd weapons, Freddy Krueger with the glove. And I think gardening shears are just, I mean, like that just works. That works. We've all done that though. Like the ball goes in the field and you're just, what in the fuck? Oh, that's badass. My boy's smoking. I don't know, we all went in the field to get the ball and we're just like,
you better just get on with it then.
this movie has also a really weird transitioning from scenes. Like just like, all right, we showed, God, on full display. Jump scare. They're just like, all right, we're done here. And then they'll just like fade to black, fade to the next scene. I mean, that looks so cool though.
Hey, Sally.
Hi, Barb. Dave show up last night?
Ugh.
Ah! Me when boobies show up in a horror movie. This girl named Sally goes to take a shower and she is interrupted with a creep peeping on her, and his name is Alfred. Alfred in the movie kind of gets the short end of the stick with most things. You know, he's still a creep, but like he gets blamed a lot and kind of kicked to the ground and kind of bullied. And he doesn't really ever stand up for himself. He's kind of just the punching bag for the whole movie.
Stay away from my girl, you understand that? Huh?
You understand that?
Any problems for any kid on this camp, I'm gonna bust your ass.
This fella here is Glazer. And I know before y'all say it,
The glazing is crazy.
Glazer is pretty much the local dickhead. I mean, he's the guy in the story that's the hunk, the bully. He gets all the girls. He's so mean to us nerds. I get it, but if I'm being honest, I've seen better. If I do say so myself, I think they kind of glaze Glazer. So many fucking people here. That kid needs to put some clothes on.
So wherever your head goes, your body's gotta follow, right?
And you'll be in big trouble if it doesn't.
Yeah. Dave,
You're gonna be a big trouble if it doesn't now.
watch me.
Fish,
Watch
go ahead.
me.
Esther Williams here. Look at that. And we don't.
Shitty ass dive.
Follow me out, all right?
Slips, busts his head. Oh God! Wasn't that funny? Nothing is ever that funny.
You all right? You breathing?
Yeah, he's breathing. He was in the water for 5 seconds.
All right. All right.
Hey, you swam. You know, you gotta encourage him.
Hey, Si, you want to go for a swim with me?
No way. I don't want to get my hair wet.
What the fuck?
This is about to be the greatest moment in your life.
Blew his head off.
Clay's just gonna go crazy. Shit.
Yo, saying that on all fours is insane. We meet most of the characters, but as you can probably assume, and with many other 80s slashers, the characters don't really matter that much. Later on in the night, we catch up with the fellas who are all bunking together, you know, shooting the shit, playing grab ass, as the boys do. And dinner rolls around. We go to eat dinner with the rest of the campers in the lunchroom. But before that, creepy Albert sees this. Why'd they only like play for a second? Beep.
I saw it. It was there.
Well, there sure as hell ain't nothing out there now.
No, I swear I saw a face in the window. We ought to go check on the girls and see what they're doing. Maybe they can help.
Hey, what's keeping you guys? There's not gonna be any dinner left. Come on, let's go. What was all that about?
Nothing.
Why would you not tell him?
Hey, Redford, let's go. Come on. Wait a minute, I'm talking to her. Hey, I'm talking to her. Can I talk to her too?
One of the boys forgets something at the cabin. He said he needed his vitamin E, which I don't even know what that does, or why he would need it in this exact moment right now, but hey, he needs it. With him heading back to the cabin, all alone, at night, I'm sure everything will go smoothly. On a side note, tomorrow is a big day because all of the older campers are going on a 3-day-long canoe trip, which honestly seems pretty fire, I'm not gonna lie. So this guy about to be our first, like, kill?
Just remember, it's a long way from home.
Nowadays, they would not have a canoe trip. Too much of a liability.
Woodstock.
I actually didn't mind that. I kind of like how they did that. Like, have them just stand still and they didn't, like, overdo it. I kind of like that. I think the problem with most of today's moments like this, you know, the kind of hide in silence while the creepy critter walks around scenes, kind of loses its coolness factor by adding dumb, unrealistic things to happen. They're quiet, but then the phone goes off. They drop something. The character breathes really loud because the killer walked out of frame, but then comes back with a loud noise cue. Stuff along those lines. I kind of like the stillness of the scene. It feeling so awkward with the kid having a blank stare versus him holding his mouth and closing his eyes, etc. Makes it feel a little bit more real in my opinion. I like the deer in the headlight look. It's realistic.
Straighten up, Laser.
The blazer straightens up, Sally. You better run.
It's kind of funny actually. This fucking banjo. Oh, look at that shot.
Just across the lake. It was called Camp Blackfoot.
Oh dear lord.
No one goes there anymore.
This was literally like a plot line and they literally had this plot line in one of the Friday movies. They're like, you can't go to that lake, but this lake is fine. I think it was like 3.
Watching. Waiting. Don't look.
That's cool.
We'll see you.
That's cool, and it's also like, it makes sense that they, it makes sense to like tell this story of like here, of course, because it's like across the lake is where he stays, so everyone's gonna be like, oh, that's just a stupid story, but what if? We settle in for the first night when Eddie and the girl he's been flirting with go for a night swim. When Eddie tries to throw himself on her, she rejects him and leaves. The girl unfortunately gets caught by Cropsy, our main antagonist, but also, unfortunately, we can't see it because it's just so damn dark, which I feel like kind of kills, no pun intended, the whole point this movie is going for? If I can't see the kill, then why even show us? Why not just leave her missing and then we end up seeing her later? I'm not too sure, but Eddie wakes up to the girls and guys counselors waking him up, asking where the hell is Karen, which is the girl's name. I just found that out. I mean, it's just so dark. I'm looking at myself through the reflection of my TV. Okay, so that's our first kill. Yeah, that's our first kill.
Michelle! Hey, Michelle! The canoes are gone! What do you mean they're gone? They're gone, they're not here!
I hate when people say that. What do you mean they're gone? It's like, I don't know. What do you, you want me to rephrase it? I don't know. They're gone.
Look, here's what we're gonna do, okay? We're gonna split up and search this whole area. They gotta be around here somewhere.
That seems like a smart idea. Lose one of the campers? Let's all just spread out over this, this lake. Looks like you guys are working very hard.
What are you thinking?
I don't know, I just feel real uneasy.
Huh, I wonder
About
why.
Karen.
Yeah, something's wrong.
No, not Karen. I don't really give a about her. I lost a sock while I was out here. You know, if I go back and I don't have all my socks, my mom's gonna be pissed.
I still don't understand how Todd expects us to build a raft with all this.
This guy's voice is kind of goofy. I really want to rap all this stuff.
Hey, what about this?
What about that?
That's a carton. And what about this? That doesn't look like Karen.
Eddie, give her a hand. Take it over to the pile, huh? All right.
Luckily, we found these perfect cut 2x4s. Look at how slow they're going. I'm sorry, but I think I would rather just swim. So we made a raft out of wood that we came across in the woods. And luckily enough, it doesn't take too long to handcraft a lifeboat out of absolutely nothing to hold about 5 teens. So that's awesome. When we get further down the lake, we find one of our missing canoes. Oh, you think she's gonna be in there? That'd be kind of, I'd kind of fuck with that.
Woody, get ready to grab.
She's gotta be in there. Oh, he's in there. Oh! Okay, I fuck with that. Damn! It's weird. Sometimes they have like really nice practical effects and then they have really stupid practical effects. It's kinda crazy.
Come on, we better get back before it gets dark, huh?
I've got a better idea.
Would that idea be to find the missing camper? Because I feel like that should be main priority. Well, to be fair, they are thinking that she went to the main camp, so sure. In the night, we see more deaths of our beloved teens. One being Sally, and sadly enough, Glazer. I know, everyone's favorite.
Glazer's gonna go crazy. Shit.
But this time around, Cropsy wasn't as lucky and accidentally left a witness. That being Creep Albert, the peeper himself. Albert then tells the camp counselor, but he doesn't believe him at first. But he feels obligated to go with him and check up on the situation. Of course, during this, we run into Cropsy and Albert runs away. While left behind, the counselor Todd gets bonked in the head.
You guys, all right, come on, enough is enough, huh?
Mangled corpses. Yeah, me when I touch the rock of orgasms. One thing, like while watching this, that made me appreciate more Friday the 13th is that whenever you realize like, all right, the killings are starting, it's like, it's game time, you know? With this, it definitely feels like it drags, you know what I mean? Like it almost feels like we're not treating this like kids are literally dying. I feel like this is kind of the urgency you would have whenever you find out that one of the girls are missing. Now that everyone knows that their peers are dying, the rest of the surviving group takes the rafts and go further down the lake to the main cabins, while Todd grabs an axe and looks for Albert safely. Now, if you remember, the urban legend did say that Cropsy likes abandoned buildings. So where do we find him? That's right, baby. In an abandoned mine. Todd eventually finds Albert and we get our classic chase/searching for the escape plan scene. This is probably the most boring part of the movie if I do say so myself. As we go further into it, we get flashbacks from Todd's perspective and we find out that he was actually one of the original kids from the death of Cropsy. Ooh. We find Karen obviously dead in the mine and Albert pinned to a wall. Todd ends up saving Albert, but not without company. Cropsy pulls up with a flamethrower, but Todd eventually gets his grubby little paws on it and he burns Cropsy instead. And he dies. I guess Cropsy all of a sudden likes to carry flamethrowers now. I mean, we kind of got clues of this with him sleeping with a tank of gasoline right beside his bedside, but I mean, it wasn't ever explained. I guess he just likes gasoline. I mean, I like the smell of gasoline, so I mean, hey. I guess we have something in common. A helicopter arrives from assumingly a distress call that was sent from the main cabins whenever the rest of the teens went there. And then we fade into a campfire. However, this campfire is surrounded by all new campers, telling the same tale of Cropsy. I have a theory that this counselor is actually Albert. Since we learned that Todd was originally a camper, I think there was like a connection that they were trying to tie in there. And if I remember, I think Albert was wearing like a red shirt and this guy's also wearing a red shirt. You know, it's it's kind of like a easy movie trope to be like, oh, hey, both of these guys like red, same person. I mean, I just feel like that makes the most sense. You know, keep the tradition running. And that is The Burning, 1981. My honest opinion, not a terrible film. I feel like this movie could have been better. I feel like they could have tried a little bit more. I understand, you know, for the time being, it was very early in the 80s and it also was a very low budget, but I feel like there could have been some more elements added. I feel like Friday did do other cool stuff. I feel like it really mastered what all these other camp slasher films couldn't. The other one-off camp slasher movies that came out around this era doesn't really do anything new and exciting, and it's honestly kind of a shame. Something I learned while scripting this actually is that the script for this movie was made before Friday was made. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that is the truth. This movie technically wasn't ripping off of Friday, but I mean, I still feel like that doesn't really matter that much. I think that, let's say Friday completely took this movie and redid it. I feel like they just did it better. While watching this movie, I'm like, oh, this is copying Friday, but really, I mean, it's, from what I read, it looks like Friday, if anything, is taken from this movie. But regardless, I still think that the Friday movies, they're done better. I think that they're very similar in the storytelling and, you know, just the whole vibe of it, but I feel like Friday is just more fun. Watching movies like this just make me appreciate Friday the 13th more. In this movie, however, the kills were actually pretty good. And bad. It's kind of weird. You have some scenes that are like really cool, like whenever he puts his hand up and he chops his fingers off. That's awesome. Like those are the kills that, like, while watching, I mean, you guys saw, it genuinely made me like, like God, that sucks. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like they do it, it happens, and then it's so quick. It's like, oh my God, why did I do that? My fingers are gone. It's just like, it's what makes slasher movies kind of so eerie. Everything is so quick and it just happens. I think that this movie has some scenes where it shows that really well. And then I think it has other scenes like the very first kill. It's just like, it's so stupid. It has some scenes where I don't think I put it in the actual final cut of the video, but there was a scene where one of the other campers died and you can easily tell that his head was cut out and there was like a wall and his head was just sticking out of it. It's just little stuff like that. It takes you out of it because like, I know how they did that shot. So you can tell where they tried really hard and then they didn't try really hard. And that's fine. I mean, it's still an early movie. That's completely fine. But I'm just saying, it's something worth mentioning. The best kill of the movie easily has to go to the finger chop. Very odd title for that, but hey, we're sticking to it. It's just so cool. I mean, I don't really have to keep on going on about it, but it's a cool kill. It makes me physically cringe. I love it. It's cool. And the worst kill obviously is the first one with the too. I mean, it just makes you laugh. It's so goofy. And to have that as the first kill, not a good sign, but I mean, it won me over in the end. So my overall review of this movie, I didn't mind it. I think it's a pretty good movie. Like I said in it, it does drag whenever they're like running around. And I think that is the most crucial part of slasher movies, because it can either make or it can break the entire movie. And I do think that this time around, it does hurt the movie. I feel like things don't really happen in it. And I think the climax was kind of but I think it's a good time. I had a good time watching it. I didn't have any real complaints that are like, oh, this movie sucks. I've seen some pretty trash slasher movies. I would not say that this is one of them. So if you're bored on a weekend, you want a fun slasher to watch, and you already watched all the Friday the 13th movies, I would throw this one on. Pretty good movie. Thank you guys for watching. Become a member today, sub to the channel, like the video. Thank you to the members already who have joined the club. And once again, we are not on Patreon anymore. I keep on going back and forth, but I think I'm gonna stay on the YouTube memberships for quite a while. I think it's just a little bit easier, but if you are on your phone, click the link down below because you might not have the join button. Yeah, it'll be in the description. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all the support. Comment down what you think about this movie. Let me know if you have seen it. Let me know what you think of my review of it. What do you want to see next? Let's talk. I'll likely respond. Have a good rest of your day, night, evening, and goodbye.